Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm going to be taking advantage of the slightly overcast weather today to do a July update on my orchids. I have been away. I was on a little vacation and some of my orchids are looking a little ratty, but some of them are in bloom, which is really nice. I'm going to start with this one down here. This is the Catasetum Karen Armstrong. I've showed you this before. It's a really nice catasetum and it also has another spike going on right there. Usually has at least 2 spikes per bulb. And just like my Millennium Magic, it smells kind of like a cross between cedar and eucalyptus. And whenever I have catasetums, I have to stop myself from triggering the little pollina things in there because it's really fun to do, but it kills the flower. So not going to do that this time. Over here is my Paf Wasner Grahamic, and it had this obviously dead flower right here, but it's got another nice little surprise coming up right there, another bud. So looking forward to that. That one's a really nice pink flower. And let's see what else is happening. This one is the Bulbophyllum. I have been saying it wrong. I have been saying it Binninjiki, but it's, I believe, Binninjikii, something like that. And it's of course got its new growths. It's got this one right here and this one right here. But I did notice it's got something coming out of the base right there. I don't know if that's a new growth or a spike. I'm hoping for a spike, but either would be nice. I was talking to the people I originally got this plant from, and they said it needed to be at least 6 bulbs to bloom. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so maybe. Over here is that old Cattleya of mine, and it's got the sheath, which is getting more pronounced right there, so hopefully that one blooms. This one is a huge red flower that's extremely fragrant. And obviously it's not looking too well. This is the one that had no roots when I got it because it was tightly packed in moss and all of the roots had died. But it's got, the roots there don't look that great, but it's got some other roots going in there that looks pretty good. So there's that. I've got a bunch of dendrobiums and anirides up there taking advantage of the sunlight. This is the Vanda type orchid I have. It is the one with the white flowers, I believe, and it's called a Brighton's Moonbeam, and it has a new spike coming out of it. Kind of too small to really show you, but it got attacked by thrips and I sprayed it and killed those thrips, and it seems to be coming along nicely afterwards. So there's that. Over here, my my Maxillaria tenafolia is still trying to split itself. So on the right hand side you can see some of the bulbs are getting a little shriveled, and that's because I believe the root system is kind of, what's a good way to describe it? It's like getting cut off because the root system is now supplying the left side of the plant with more of the water and nutrients it sucks up. So still trying to keep it together and spray it with water every day. Obviously when I was away on my vacation I was unable to do that, so that's why the bulbs are looking a little worse than they did before. But we'll see how that does. It's still growing nicely. It's creating new bulbs, so I don't think that's too much of a problem right now, at least. Not too much going on in my mini greenhouse. Let's see, this is the Phalaenopsis tetraspis, and it did have some thrips again, and I did spray it. I'm pretty lazy. I know you're supposed to do repeated treatments with them, but I just kind of forget about it. I really need to start doing the repeated treatments though because of the thrips life cycle. I believe the eggs will hatch weekly or something like that. So yeah, seems okay right now though. It's got a new leaf coming out that does not seem to be eaten by thrips at all. You can see the difference. This one's looking really nice, and then the previous one has some damage, but nonetheless it's looking good. All of the spikes are continuing, and it's got 1 and 2 new spikes that are looking good right there. Really like this orchid, and I like to see it do well. This is a no ID, I believe, Cattleya type I got from a raffle, and it's got a new growth doing really well right there. That one again, though, was attacked by thrips. Stupid little bugs. I repotted my Bulbophyllum medusae. I think it's doing a lot better in this. It was in a basket before, but I could not keep it moist enough because Bulbophyllums generally like to be a lot moister. So it's not like as deep. It's a lot shallower. I just put it in that bucket so that it could drip in there. I'm going to be using that bucket for another orchid, I think. There's Ryden over there making grumpy noises. And over here I've got what I thought was a coelogyne cristata, but it's something else. And it has 1 new growth right there and 1 new growth right there, doing really well. So hopefully that'll bloom again this year. Here is my Bulbophyllum lepidum in bloom. These flowers are just about finished. They're probably going to fall today. They don't last very long, but it's a really cute little quarter of a circle. Really nice. And it's got 1 new spike there. It's got 1 right there that just finished. And it's got a new one coming out of that bulb right there. Whenever it blooms profusely. I'm sure it has other... See, there's another spike that I just noticed on it right there. Really nice orchid. Doesn't smell very good, although a lot of Bulbophyllums don't. Really nice to see it in bloom again. I've got in this is the little enclosed mini greenhouse that I have. I took the top off, but I think it was 83 degrees Fahrenheit and like 50% humidity. I keep it wet down here so that the water the water can evaporate upwards. Anyways, this is my biggest Coelogyne. This is the Coelogyne viridiflava, Coelogyne exuperi, and another Coelogyne viridiflava right here. And they all seem to really like the humidity inside of the mini greenhouse. All of them are creating new roots. It'd be nice if I could show you. This one, just take my word for it. This one is creating new roots. This one is right here that you can see. And this one's got lots of new roots. So those are doing really well. I have a Bulbophyllum bicolor right here that finally did something. I waited so long for this to grow or spike or do something. And it's got, this is the biggest new growth right here. Obviously created a new leaf, really nice. It's got one that's well on its way right there. And then if you can see right over there, that little guy is going very slowly. I hope it pulls through, but I'm not quite sure. Would love to see this Bulbophyllum in bloom. It's got a nice pinkish shade to it. Here is my Cattleya type over here with a sheath, and that Vanda, I can see it's again too small to show you, but it's got a little spike starting in one of the axes of the leaves, but it stalled, so hopefully that continues sometime. My Neostylus loose sneery just finished blooming, and I cut the spikes. And I've got my Vanda brunea that doesn't really ever seem to do anything up there. And in the last window here is my Ambrea rhodogasiana. I've been keeping it in this little cup for 2 reasons. Number 1, because it has extra humidity in there, and number 2, because this orchid blooms. It's similar to a Gongora or a Stanhopea. It'll bloom through the basket that it's in. So since I haven't hung it up, I want to make sure that anything that gets through the bottom doesn't get squished by whatever it's sitting on. So it's just kind of suspended in there. And this one grows really, really well. I got this one from Paramount Orchids, if you remember my orchid haul, but it's had 3 new growths so far, and this is the latest one right here. They always do really, really well, but I don't see any spikes on it. Maybe it's still too small. I'm not quite sure. The Paramount Orchids did say it was blooming size though, so I do keep an eye out for spikes. This one is really nice. This is the coelogyne Salmona color crossed with coelogyne usitana. And this one is in bloom right now. This one's funny because it blooms from bulbs that haven't really developed yet. So as you can see, this is still just a new growth. This is a bulb, this is a new growth, and it's sorry, my dog just coughed right there. Let's see if I can show you. There we go. So the last time this bloomed, the flowers fell off one by, like, a flower would fall off and then a new one would bloom and then that one would fall off and then a new one would bloom. But I've got 3 so far on here that are still on there, so it's really nice that they've stayed. Here, maybe I can show you a little bit better by holding the orchid up. There we go. You can see that really pretty dark orange color in the throat right there, and kind of an off-white color on the petals and sepals. That one's really nice. It's got a very faint scent to it. Really nice orchid. I wonder how many flowers I'm going to get before one falls off. That'll be interesting to see. All right. I like coelogynes. They're nice orchids. I think I'm going to get some more. This one is the Polystachya gileata. That is, as I've said, always in bloom. Let me see if I can get out to show you. There we go. These ones have what look like upside down helmets for flowers. They're not fantastic looking, like they're just kind of greenish and yellowish, but they smell fantastic. They smell like honeysuckle. Very, very nice smell. I did notice that this new growth coming out right here is kind of wonky. I don't know if it is infected with something. It looks like it might be, or it got caught on something while it was growing. It did get kind of caught on the growth above it, but I am going to have to keep an eye on that because I do not want to see anything happen to this orchid. It's a really nice one. It smells so good. And that again is the Polystachya gileata. Got some paths, which are still doing okay down here. I keep saying that I have to repot them, but I just keep forgetting. Again, I'm very lazy. So, reminder to myself that I should probably do that soon. And not too much else going on except for this guy right here. This is, I can't remember the name of it. It doesn't really have a name. It's a no ID. But this is the lemon-scented orchid. Maybe. There we go. It bloomed upside down. So I was away for a little and I did not water this orchid as I should have. And so this new growth right here did not produce a sheath like it usually does, but some buds still came out. One of them kind of died, but then this one kept growing and it bloomed upside down and had this beautiful yellow cattleya flower. And this one, as I said, smells very, very strongly of lemons. So that's really nice to have. Hopefully I won't knock over other orchids when I put it back. Awesome. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see any more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks. Bye.